Alrighty, so we're here convening with all of the other groups from the Nuestra America Convoy. And what do we think we're going to experience?
I think we're going to hear from a bunch of young people and how they're adjusting to this escalation of the blockade and what they want us to hear and learn from them.
But first, we had a day full of learning and exchange with the Cuban people. Alright, so this is where they get the food ration, where we began with learning more about their food systems, like how food rations are managed and distributed.
A given percent of taxes in a territory are supposed to be spent in that territory. So they also get contribution from the economic factors of the community to fix places like this.
We then went to a local panaderia that is managed by the government, and while the previous location was a place where the vulnerable can go eat at a reduced cost, this place is what supplies the actual rations to the broader community.
And the country cannot get them right now. So we're using one oven invented by us, handmade. Remember, they use the word alternatives.
Now, let me make it clear. Cubans are going hungry, whether it's because of the blockade or other reasons that are or are not connected to their government. At the end of the day, through their food distribution system, the idea is that everyone can count on getting XYZ pieces of bread or other items of food. And so whether or not we agree with their socialist society or the Cuban government, what I hope we can agree on is the severity of the blockade. I, for one, appreciate their intention. And what I took away from this moment and other moments throughout my experience is that while the Cuban people are struggling at the hands of U.S. imperialism and or poor decisions made by their government, as with any government, they embrace their socialist system because they know that it ultimately does work to get them through and by with whatever means and access to resources and food that they can get their hands on. And so there is a really unique culture and spirit in thinking about how they take care of all of their neighbors, including pregnant mothers. We learned about how mothers, adolescent mothers, and mothers who are high at risk are taken care of by the Cuban healthcare system. So they have these maternity homes that from the moment that mothers find out that they are pregnant who might have some risk but don't qualify to be in hospitals, they come here and they're taken care of by an entire team. And there's at least 2 per municipality, sometimes 1, but ultimately they really see children and mothers as a priority in this country, which I think is really beautiful. They have a kitchen here, really prioritize those who need the most care at these maternity homes. Just realized while recording this that I totally messed up the sequence of this particular day, but the point is, after morning activities, learning from and being in community with the Cuban people, we went to the Nuestra America Convoy Solidarity event, where my new friend Isabella and I ended up having the opportunity to speak with press about our experience as Cuban Americans going to Cuba for the first time during such a challenging moment for the Cuban people. But most importantly, we had the chance to learn and hear from different speakers about why standing with Cuba right now and the Cuban people is so important, and why this isn't about being performative, but about putting our money where our mouths are. And we made it back just in time, because that night Cuba faced its 3rd blackout in just a month.